A free speech crisis is brewing in Europe. Even our Congress here in America is talking about it. Watch.
Americans aren't worried about the EU or the Online Safety Act in the UK. Americans are worried that Donald Trump is working to rewrite and whitewash American history in our museums, our textbooks, and our national parks.
I'm delighted to reacquaint with the charming Mr. Raskin. That was a delightful testimony you gave me earlier on with your speech. But hey, that's fine. You can say what you like. I don't care. Because that's what free speech is.
All right. There's some fireworks yesterday. House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan is with me now. You chaired that meeting yesterday. If they've lost their freedom of speech in Britain, and I believe they have, how does that affect us here in America?
Well, understand what just happened a couple days ago. You had this comedian who gets arrested when he lands in the UK at the Heathrow Airport. And understand, he's a citizen of Ireland. He was in the United States, tweeted out something online that the British law says is offensive, and when he lands, he gets arrested. It's just a matter of time, Stuart, before that happens to an American. So that is our concern. And understand the history here. Last year, we did an investigation where we discovered the Biden administration was pressuring big tech to censor Americans. It culminated with Mark Zuckerberg sending the committee a letter in August saying, yeah, the Biden administration pressured us to censor. We did it. We're sorry. We're going to stop. And they've subsequently now changed policy and they don't do that. But that's where it was all headed. And now in Europe, they're doing the same thing. They're pressuring big tech to censor Americans. And if they catch things being said online that are, quote, offensive or hate speech or misinformation, disinformation, there can be criminal penalties, as is evidenced by the arrest of this comedian who's not even a British citizen, for goodness sakes. They just arrest him when he lands at their airport in their country.
I don't post much on social media. In fact, I don't post at all. But I do worry about what happens to me. I'm an American citizen. I've lived here 50 years. I worry about what happens to me if I go back to England and open my mouth. I mean, I wonder if I'd be subject to arrest. That'd be ironic, wouldn't it?
The easiest way to understand this, in my judgment, is remember 3 years ago when the Biden administration established the Disinformation Governance Board, as if some set of bureaucrats were going to tell you what you can say, what you can read, what you can tweet, what you can post. They put that together. A bunch of us raised a lot of concern about that and got it disbanded, thank goodness. I mean, it was the most Orwellian thing you can imagine. Well, now what Europe has done is they've taken that concept and made it the law. Yeah. The law over there now is a Disinformation Governance Board. And if you don't say the right things, and if you're critical of the government, you can be, as a tech company, you can be fined. But more importantly, as a citizen, as a person, you can have criminal penalties, as is evidenced by what happened just 2 days ago. That is our concern. We're concerned about free expression. We had a witness last year, Stuart, who I thought was so good. She was a journalist from Canada, Rupa Subramanye, and she had covered the trucker blockade and everything else. But when she testified, she said the hallmark of Western culture is free expression. It's how we do it in the West. You have debate, because the alternative to settling disputes is frightening. If we lose that, we're concerned about that in a broad sense, but then in a more particular way, a more direct way, we're concerned about, as you pointed out, Americans' First Amendment liberties being attacked and you be criminally liable for things that you're allowed to say in our country. That is the concern. That's why we had the hearing. And by the way, Nigel Farage was a tremendous witness at the hearing yesterday.
Yeah, you know, he's leading by double digits in polls in England. He could be the next Prime Minister. Extraordinary stuff. Yeah. Jim Jordan, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for being on the show, Jim. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.